When you're standing at the edge of a big purchase like a flagship mirrorless camera, the first thought isn't usually excitement, it's hesitation. You wonder if the money you're about to spend will actually translate into sharper images, smoother video, or simply another box of tech you'll use once a year. That's the exact angle I'm taking today, so you can walk away with a clearer picture of whether the Nikon Z8 really earns its premium spot. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First, let's talk about the kind of photographer who finds themselves in the market for a Z8. If you're a professional or serious enthusiast who already shoots Nikon's mount lenses and you need a body that can keep up with fast-moving subjects, think wildlife, sports, or high-end commercial work, this camera is built for you. It's also appealing to videographers who want internal 8K capture without relying on an external recorder, and to studio shooters who need the flexibility of 14-bit RAW with the option to go 12-bit NRAW for maximum latitude. On the flip side, if you're a hobbyist who mostly captures family gatherings on a weekend, or if you're just starting out and your budget is tight, the Z8 might be more than you need. The Z8's biggest practical strength is its sensor-processor combo. The 45.7 megapixel stacked CMOS sensor paired with the Xpeed 7 engine gives you a blend of high resolution and speed that you rarely see together. In the field, that means you can freeze a Falcon in flight at 20 frames per second while still pulling 45 megapixel files that hold enough detail for large prints. I've seen that combination put together in a lab setting, but the real test is in everyday shooting. When I attached a 70,200mm f2.8 on a cloudy morning and tracked a hummingbird, the autofocus never missed a beat. The subject stayed sharp, and the image retained the fine feather detail you'd expect from a high-resolution sensor. Speaking of autofocus, Nikon's most advanced system shines in real-world scenarios. The deep learning-based algorithm learns to recognize faces, eyes, and even specific animal shapes, which translates into fewer missed shots in unpredictable environments. For portrait sessions, the skin softening and portrait impression balance modes give a subtle, flattering look without the need for heavy post-processing. Those tools aren't just gimmicks, they actually cut down on time in Lightroom when you're delivering final images to clients on a tight deadline. Video is another arena where the Z8 makes a tangible difference. Internal 8K at 60p and 4K at 120p mean you can capture footage that holds up when you need to reframe in post. The 12-bit NRAW recording is a game-changer for anyone who wants to push color grading without worrying about banding. In practice, I used the 4K 120p mode to shoot a short dance piece in a low-light studio. The footage stayed clean, and the high frame rate allowed smooth slow motion without the typical roll-off you get from 8-bit codecs. That said, the Z8 doesn't have a built-in ND filter, so on bright days you'll still need external filters to keep exposure under control during video work. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs that can bite you after the purchase. First, the body is body-only, which means you'll have to buy lenses separately if you don't already own mount glass. Nikon's Z lenses are excellent, but they're also on the pricey side, and that adds to the overall investment. Second, while the sensor is stacked and offers superb readout speeds, the high resolution can be a double-edged sword for some workflows. Shooting RAW at 45 megapixels generates large files around 80 megabytes per image that can quickly fill memory cards and slow down post-processing if you don't have a robust computer setup. If your primary output is web-sized images or social media, you might find yourself spending more time downsampling than you anticipated. Battery life is another practical consideration. The Z8's power draw is higher than some older Nikon models, mainly because of the high-resolution sensor and video capabilities. In real use, a full-size LP12 battery gives me roughly 600 shots in a mixed still and video day, which is fine for a day shoot but will require you to carry spares for longer assignments. It's not a deal-breaker, but it's something you have to plan for, especially if you're traveling light. One more nuance that often gets glossed over in marketing speak is the ergonomics of the control layout. Nikon kept the familiar button placement from the Z9, which means the transition is smooth for anyone already on the Z system. However, if you're coming from a different brand, the depth of the grip and the location of the dedicated video mode dial might feel a bit cramped after a few hours. It's not uncomfortable, but it does require a short adjustment period before muscle memory kicks in. So, who should walk away with this camera? If you already own Nikon Z lenses, need a high-resolution sensor that doesn't sacrifice speed, and you regularly shoot fast action or high-end video, the Z8 is a solid match. It also